Hello, everybody. Here we are. Al, how you doing?
All right, Larry, how you doing?
Great. We have a great location today. We came out to my house
Yeah.
out here in lovely Marietta. We want to welcome all our viewers. We got some special guests here. They're just going to do a holler out. We got Kim, lovely Kim, Al's youngest, who made the journey out here with him. And so just give a holler out.
Hello. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. And we have my lovely wife, Mary Ann. So you just give a holler out.
Hello, everyone.
We love having them there. They're just kind of critiquing us. And well, here we are with episode 61, Larry and Al.
Can you read that?
What's that? 61? No.
Oh, man.
No. That was my buddy's number in football. That was my best friend.
Wow.
Number 61. I was
61.
thinking about that one. We said 61. But
Wow.
yeah, 61 episodes. And gosh, it's just been a great ride. Learned a lot, shared a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to welcome, obviously, Elijah, our technological expert. We appreciate him always. Can't do it without him. And he's the one that got us here and has helped us keep ourselves going. So, anyway, tell me about your Christmas. It's
Oh man, it was for me. It was good in this respect. I had a chance to get presents, and I had a theme. I had a theme for I did college, sports, and college and sports, and like where Brenda went to college, I got her a bag and a tote bag and a backpack. Same thing with Kim, a backpack and a tote, and then with
from their alma mater.
From the alma mater, and then with my oldest daughter, she's a Patriots fan, so I got a tote and a backpack for that.
Okay.
And Terry is a Rams fan, so I got her a tote and a backpack for that.
Wow.
And then I got him the little ID bracelet, birth things, and this is one of the things when I learned early on, and I'm pretty sure you do the same thing. When you have multiple children, I always made sure that from the very beginning that I made one gift was always the same. One gift was always the same. That would have, if I get a dress, it would be the same. It would be small, so that it would have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So but that was good. And I got a little grip. I got a little grip for my a little table for my walker.
Okay.
I got a table, a table walker, baby. Hey, so
State of the art, baby.
State of the art.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me. They said, "What did you want for Christmas?" And you know what I said? Life.
Yeah.
So when you get to be my age, and I'm pretty sure you're reaching that point in your mind. And the things that are really important is just having conversations. Kim calls me every day, and I look forward to that.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing. And Terry comes on Mondays and Sundays, and Markel, they come over and watch football. And I say to myself, after living my life to this extent and watching things that have happened with other people, and I'm saying how blessed I am that my children even talk to me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's a blessing. I don't care if anybody else talk to me, but I can get on the phone, and it's not that I pester them. They're grown people. They all ask me a question, and about life or something like that. And I just give them information and let them decide on what they need to do because they're not no children. I mean, I think about, they're half a century old. Jeez.
And what does that make you?
Oh, that makes me.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm blessed that I'm having this experience in my life. Right. And that was what Christmas, and Wendy came over and she spent a minute with me, brought me another gift and stuff like that. But it's just like I'm blessed that Elijah came up. He came up a little bit just before Christmas, say hello and stuff like that. And so, these are the things that make life worth living. And it has nothing to do with how much money you make or how important were you. And the thing that I'm happy about in retrospect is that I raised good children with good values and good understanding about life. Okay, I may not have been the best dad. Okay, but I try to make sure that they had the things that they needed to live a prosperous life and had values that would carry them into life. We talked about this before, being black in Orange County, and you asked me a lot of times, and I just said, you know what, I didn't deal with it. I just, hey, people said this, that, and the other, and I told my children, hey, we just got to go forward. You can't stop and get in the mud with the pigs. You can't wallow with the pigs. And you got to go on, and I'm thankful that they have lifelong friends, and they all believe in God, and which is it's a blessing. Because we sometimes we'll talk about faith. Okay, I don't talk about we'll talk about faith. I go to church, Kim's church in Texas. I go to church with her online. But these are the things that have become important, and that and what I try to express to them is live your life. Okay, you don't have any obligations. Like Carrie Lynn went to Thanksgiving. She went to Tokyo. That's what she wanted to do. Yeah, go. Kim went a couple of years ago. She went to Switzerland. That's what you want to do. Do that. You see what I'm saying? Because there's going to be a time, and like I tell them all, there's going to be a time. You remember I used to. You remember. You know me for on the weekend. I'd be gone. I would say, well, where'd you go? I said, I went north. I did this. I went there. I went there. But there's going to become a time when you can't be that. Right. I used to go. When I say I was going to San Diego, I went to San Diego. But no, I had a good Christmas. What about you?
Yeah, it was real good. We had our family here. We had about between 30 and 35 people. Yeah, back this house.
Back it up, huh?
And we were blessed because we thought it was going to be raining. We'd all be inside.
Yeah.
It turned out it was a beautiful day like today. And we sat outside, and we had a good meal, and people got to hang around and relax. And
those are the modern day people, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's Marianne's extended family, and my sister's, obviously the little one in Colorado wasn't able to make it, and then the one in Orange, she either. But yeah. But we had all our grandkids here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All the the moms and dads, and it was a great day. And so everything you just said is goes ditto for me. I was thinking about we talked a little bit about the brunch, your traditional brunch that Brenda does and stuff. And how long has she been in that house?
Oh, we 77. Because when did you move out here?
90.
Okay, 90, and because when we got started working together, Brenda and I were divorced, right? I was divorced.
You were just going through the divorce.
Yeah. So we moved out there, and Kim was born there. She's the only one born at that house. So she was 6 years old when Brenda and I got divorced. So Brenda's been in the house since 1977.
See that? I mean, then you have that tradition of having that brunch there, and so not everybody can have that longevity, that ability to have those kinds of build in all those memories and that experience.
But it's a double-edged sword.
Okay, let's hear about that. What do you mean?
In this respect, is that the one thing that I learned, going through the divorce situation, was that as a parent, I had to let my children go.
Yeah.
I had no more because only thing I can say is that I hoped that I had imprinted enough about life into them that they would make good decisions, and which they did.
Well,
Okay,
the evidence is in there.
Brenda was there. Okay, but as time goes on, you have to adjust to the fact that your children are grown and that they make their own decisions, and you have to be able to accept that, and not say that you're a parent and say, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that," or "No, you shouldn't do that." No, we all have to experience life at our own pace. Okay, we have to. That's what we have to be able to do, and even at my age, I have to experience my life in my own pace. And people say, "Well, you should do this and you should do that." Well, I understand what I can do and what I can't do, and what one of the major things about being 81 years old is I don't want to impose. I want to be as independent as I possibly can, as long as I can. Okay, I could, inside of my house, and I told you this before, inside of my house, I can matriculate.
Yeah.
I can do all the things that I need to do to take care of me on an everyday basis. Okay, and it's when I get outside of that environment, okay, that's uncomfortable for me, because that means other people have to be involved.
Right.
And why should they be put upon? You see what I'm saying? Okay, not I don't have brothers and sisters and stuff like that. So I'm an independent. I have to be an independent, and it's not good for my children. I don't want to put any extra thing on them. Because like I told them there'll come a time when you'll have to that'll happen. But this is not the time.
You know, we've talked about a lot of things over 61 plus. When you think about all the filming and taping we did prior to even starting the podcast, but I don't think we've ever really talked about aging and what it's like to go through that whole experience of
It's
a long life, 81 years. What's that been like?
But it's been fruitful. I've experienced a whole lot of experiences. You know, my parents, my mother being a schizophrenic, and going through, her trying to kill me when I was a child, and things like that, and then her really kind of making my father's life really rougher than it was. But I was saved by going to live with my uncle.
Yeah. Okay,
so but you're the fifth. You're the sixth wheel in a 5-wheel house. But that was okay. My Aunt Willa Mae was amazing. She was amazing because her house was the first cousin's house. All the first cousins on both sides of her family that were having trouble. At one time there was me and Alice and Diane plus her 5 kids. It was all living there. We all had our little schedules, and we all did what we had our little things we needed to do. And I didn't think nothing of it. It was just part of life. Okay, and back in those days, that's the way families were. Is that there was a family that took in everybody, and everybody lived from that perspective.
Do you think that's changed?
Oh yeah, I think.
How has that changed?
Well.
Or why? Well,
Well, look at your family. Well, what's different in your family than it was when you were growing up?
Well, mine.
Is there any difference? Well, see, okay. I grew up as an only child. Okay, my 2 parents, who were individual souls. You got what I'm saying? And
very much so. Yeah.
When they split, okay, one went one way and one went the other way, and I was in the middle. Okay, but I didn't have, the only relatives I had at that time was my aunt and uncle in Oakland. Okay, my father's people were all in San Diego.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you a lot.
Okay, and so at one time my mother was going to send me back to San Diego, but it didn't. She, after they got divorced, but it didn't. Whatever, it didn't work out. But So that was that right there. And even with all the relatives I have in San Diego, I wasn't close to anybody because when I left San Diego, I was 10 years old. When I came back to San Diego, I was 20 years old. So I didn't see anybody, didn't know anybody. The
10 years. went by.
yeah. Oh yeah, you're going from a child to an adult.
Right.
Did you give an example? When I came back to San Diego, I was in the Marine Corps. I was 20 years old. I was in the Marine Corps, and I would go on Liberty on the weekend, and I'm going to my my father's oldest brother's house to spend the night. Okay, I'm in the Marine. I'm grown. And he says, "Oh, we go to bed at 9:30." So I had to be in the house by 9 o'clock. You get what I'm saying? And so the middle brother, I did the same thing, and he said, "We go to bed at 10 o'clock. You got to be in the house by 9:30." Okay, I said, "Okay." So then the other uncle, his uncle, Uncle Harold, he says, "Here's the key." You catch the difference? Here's the key. You see? And so what I learned was that my father's tier were very conservative. Very conservative. Even after I was grown, even how they dealt with him. But you got to remember, when you don't go anywhere, San Diego is like a dead hole. I didn't understand why my father left San Diego. But see, when he graduated from high school, he went to San Jose State, and he got out of San Diego, and when he came back to San Diego, it's like it's like me. After living in Orange County, I didn't want to go anywhere else. You got what I'm saying? I mean, even though
What made you? Well, I mean, why? I mean, what
Because
what attracted you to that?
well, I was in the Marine Corps. I came here in the Marine Corps. That's how I got there.
Yeah, but I mean, you said I didn't want to leave Orange County.
No, I didn't want to leave. There's nothing in Oakland. No, okay, there was nothing in Oakland for me. I didn't. My mother was there, and her me being an only child, and if you understand mothers with babies, I was her everything. I'm the only child. I'm the baby. I'm the this and that. And I needed to be independent because the way my mother would say, "Baby, please come home," blah blah, and I was saying, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay here." Went to college, and that was a good decision I made by doing that and by being independent. Okay, a lot of times people acquiesce for the easy life, the easy thing. I could have gone home. My mother would have taken care of me, washed my clothes, all these kind of things, bought me a car or whatever, and I would have been okay. But would I have been independent?
Yeah.
Would I have been independent?
Right.
Okay, and I decided that I needed to be independent. I had already been shot at before I was in Vietnam, so yeah, I was shot at. Shit, hell, I need to be somewhere safe. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But I had a job. I was going to college, and so I moved in, and being 20 years old, 24 years old, I saw what Orange County was like. And I didn't have any problem with relationships with people. A lot of the guys on the football team said, "Oh, you need a job. Go over here and see so and so and so and so, and tell them so and so said." I said, "Okay." I need a job. I mean, and I think think about our relationship. People, you learn people who understand, and you still haven't quite understood me yet. But I, like I said, I always thought when I tell you this, I chose you to be in my program because I watched you and I watched how you dealt with people, and I watched your demeanor, and you were a good guy. I mean, and plus his shoemate said, I got a good, so I even respect the shoemate's opinion. But you were a good guy, and in our relationship, all these 30 some years now.
Over that.
Okay, you see, it is that you are a nurturer, you are a giver, and that's who you are. And sometimes it's difficult for you to see the other side of the world. And from my life, from my life experiences, this is what I'm talking about. From my life experiences, man, I'm down in the streets, man. 6 years, 7 years, I'm even running around selling Jet magazines and shit, walking around and trying to make my own money. I mean, I was what, 3 or 4 years old. My mother went to work. I was at the house by myself.
Yeah, you told me.
Okay, I mean, but that's how she trained me. 7 years old, I was catching the bus, going to the movies, and going to the San Diego Zoo.
So did that help prepare you?
Well,
for life,
it made me independent.
Yeah, make you.
And it made me rely on me. Okay, we talk about the climate of the day. There's a lot of people, they say, well, why is the orange man got all these people doing what they need to do? But see, it's not him. It's the individual who doesn't have the fortitude or the forthwith to say, hey, this is bad. This is bad. Okay, I can sit and say, like I used to tell you, Larry, this is bad. Remember I used to say that to you? I said, we're okay, but we're not going to do this because this is bad. Okay, you have to have that idea inside your mind. What is good? What is bad? What you don't want to have a process with. And I used to tell you when certain people would say certain things to me, and I used to tell you. No, we're going to do what we need to do. Because everybody doesn't have your best interest at heart. And I knew that in Orange County Department of Education, didn't nobody give a shit about me. They didn't care. They did because they couldn't figure out how come. And when they couldn't figure out how come, then they have to do what? They have to say, he's not doing this, and he's not doing that, and he cheats, he lies, and da. Because don't. When I say this to you, Larry, you always say, but I know you heard all the stuff. And
I really didn't.
Well, you did, but that's okay. That's okay. You're not hurting my feelings. Okay, but
The only thing people did do is they always said that, oh wow, he's a great guy. He's this, that, and the other. And all I could think to myself is, I don't think you really know him as well as you think you know him.
Well, see, but instead, you had enough awareness to understand.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got that, but it's kind of like what they didn't know, kind of thing. But anyway, that's really the most of the conversations I have with people that would talk about you and then our working relationship or whatever.
Because there was nobody who really knew me, but they thought they knew me,
Right.
And they would go, oh yeah, like the subs would come through, and I know that when the subs would come through, I'd always ask them certain questions.
Mm-hmm. What were those questions?
The questions was, well, you've been out in different places. Who did you talk to?
Yeah.
Okay, or what did you think? What did you think? What did you learn from such and such? Because see, by them telling me who, I was trying to find out where the sphere of influence was.
Right.
And if they said a certain name, then I knew that they weren't for shit.
That's what you taught me,
Okay.
was to kind of ask questions and then just pay attention. To
Yeah,
the answer.
because people will tell you who they really are.
Right.
Without even knowing it. It's just like, okay, I don't have to go through this again. It's just like when you went to that situation where when you came through and we were going to go to Harbor Learning Center and you said, I don't want to go because of Mary Lou, I was confused. I was confused. And I'm thinking, Larry, do you realize Mary Lou's the one that co-signed for us? But what I start thinking is that something was going on that you really didn't realize what was going on. And then that day when you said you changed your mind and you said, okay, I'm gonna go, and then Kurt and the fat guy showed up at the door and they said, no, you're not gonna go. You remember that? And I'm thinking, okay. And so basically what you were supposed to do, for whatever reason, when you said you wasn't gonna go, they wanted you to influence me to go with you to go over there. Okay? And they wanted and by going over there, they were going to give me some responsibility so that I would be the one that would be holding the drawer. Because the program was lousy. The program was they had all the people that was in the program were the people that were non-workers. You look at his hand. Well, besides you, everybody else. I mean, no matter where you go, you're gonna do the job. But you had the guys that would sign in for a minute and go do the other jobs and all this kind of. I knew those guys. Okay, I knew who those guys were. But no. Getting back to Christmas. Christmas was great. And I his aunts came up. Elijah's aunts came up. My two little cousins from San Diego. We spent the weekend before and stuff like that. And his brother came up, and which was good.
Well, Christmas seems to be people that celebrate Christmas, for example. It seems to be like a marker for.
It is a marker
for a year. Okay, it's, live to another Christmas, kind of thing. And so I think that's.
But the point I wanted to make is that as time goes on, people are going to make their moves, going to other places and doing other things, because they become adults. Some of them marry, some of them don't, but they want to experience other things. Okay, and like I've always told my children, do you. Do you? Don't worry about me. Like they was asked, well, Daddy, one of the times that they asked, well, what if I marry a white guy, or what if I do this, or I said, hey, whoever you marry, zebra, whatever you marry, hey, that's what we do. There's no, you didn't have to be specific. It's just like my son-in-law who passed away. I mean, he was a great guy. I really, it was good. Okay, but I never looked at him as being a white guy. He's my son-in-law. And that's the way I looked at it. Okay, and that's the way I look at life. I got my son is mixed, and I got mixed nieces and nephews, and all. Okay, but when they're in your environment, then you assume the role as an uncle or whatever. And you do the best you can.
Right. Well, anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up here for number 61, but we'll keep the conversation going and see where it takes us. And I appreciate, again, Elijah. Don't forget to subscribe.
Okay.
He reminds me I need to say that. We get some subscriptions.
I think we got 42.
We got some. I know my granddaughter subscribes. I know she doesn't watch it. I don't think, but she's a subscriber.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you, everybody, and until next time, peace out.
Okay.
Those of you that are out there listening, subscribe to our page so that you can get the notifications of when we're going to record again.